So huge thanks for joining myself, whether you're joining myself live or a later time. Mark, huge thanks for joining me as well. So Mark Stokes, who I met some time ago, your profile's quite high, so I'm bound to connect with you. We were discussing what you're doing right now in terms of Essex is one of your core strongholds in terms of development. But let's step back a few more years and look at your corporate background and why you moved into property. So
Yeah.
your background was
Yes, my background, I was born and bred in Lincolnshire. I did a degree in construction in Sheffield in the late 80s. And as I was emerging into corporate life in 1991, 1992, BT were losing their monopoly and there was a lot of US money flooding into the UK. So I was very fortunate that took advantage of that bow wave of new infrastructure that was coming into the UK and later Europe in the form of large pan-European fibre optic networks, city metropolitan networks, and very large data centres. So my responsibilities grew very, very quickly from a very early age. By the time I was in my mid-20s, I was running, tens, if not hundreds of millions of pounds of infrastructure. And that spread throughout the UK, then into Europe, Middle East, and also then into the Asia-Pac region. I moved out to Australia and I was responsible for a lot of the infrastructure deployment in Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo, New Zealand, and across Australia.
and you fitted your corporate life in with a little bit of adventure as well, because I know you've done the MDS at least once.
Yeah, I did.
MDS Marathon de Sablas, which at the time people said is the toughest foot race in the world. It's over 200 kilometers, is that right, in 6 days?
About 260 kilometres across the Sahara. It was pretty warm as well. Got up to 53 degrees. So it was long, hard days. But I guess I've always been a bit of a workaholic on anything that I find I'm really passionate about. So
Is that one of the struggles sometimes to take a break?
not really, because actually I'm fortunate enough I've only ever done things that I love in life, so it's not work for me. I really enjoy ultra distance running, probably less so now because I prefer to spend more time with my family. But there's two types of pain in the world. There's a pain that's really going to derail you, sunstroke, heat stroke, dehydration, and there's then also the pain that is relatively sort of inconvenient, toenails falling off and chafing and blisters and things like that. And I've always taken that view in corporate life. I'm more than happy to put myself through a bit of pain and take on and embrace that new opportunity. That always enabled me to have that philosophy of being the custodian of the next generation. So I'd always be encouraging people to come up within the system, to take over my role, and no job protection there. If somebody else can do my role, then I'm free to get on and do the next one.
We're not expecting people to do the MDS after listening to this video. Some of you may have done the MDS, maybe considering it, maybe considering other similar style races or shorter races. But did what doing MDS help you in your corporate life right now as well, in terms of quite major scale developments, both in Colchester and outside of Essex as well?
Well, I guess I've never really thought about it like that, but yes, every journey starts with that first step. I didn't start doing an ultra marathon. The longest distance I've run is 107 miles in 24 hours. Yeah, that's pretty hard to get your head around, but your training starts with that first mile, that first 2 miles, the first 3 miles, actually putting your trainers on and getting out the back door of your house. And with that in mind, I mean, whether it's writing a book or doing a
I know your book is called
commercial to residential conversions, but it's always about making that first start. But what those ultra runs have taught me is that I can achieve anything in life, and once I've set my mind on it, it's as good as done. I've just got to work out the mechanics of how to get from start to finish.
So commercial to residential, why that particular strategy?
Well, my background's construction, running global infrastructure. That's what my degree was in. So I've never been scared of scale. Scale in terms of raising finance, or scale in terms of the size and quantum of developments, or the size of each development. So whilst I do have a buy-to-let and an HMO portfolio, I spend hardly any time on those. Our core business function is as developers. I'm also a business investor as well. And we've also got our SAS pension as well, which many of you will know I'm really passionate about SAS deployment.
And in terms of the geographical spread, it's mostly exits. There's some in Crewe and Lincolnshire as well.
Yeah, the
You're from
partners of Equa, and we're all born in the north. Many of us hold personal portfolios around the country. So we have got a couple of developments in the north, but predominantly we live around the home counties. We like the land values and how they're moving, future market forces in the south. A lot of our developments are moving from a buy, develop, sell to a buy, develop, hold strategy. And whilst the land values are higher here, access to securing private investment has never been a particular challenge for us, without sounding complacent. So yeah, we like the home counties area. We tend not to invest in London, so our core areas are in effect the polo mints around London, outside the M25, and with an hour's commuting to central London rail.
Mark, what will be some of the takeaways from your presentation in November?
So I focus on the nitty-gritty of what it really takes to do developments. I'm probably not the guy for you if you want your 7 steps to earning £1 million in a fortnight. I'm below the waves, into the detail. This is what we immerse ourselves in every day. We've got 7 developments that are in full flight at the moment. We've made a lot of mistakes over the years. I'm proud to say that we don't make those mistakes twice. So we're very humble, we're very open, very collaborative. Our investors like that, and we like to share back with other people. So if you want to understand how we do it, the principles of creating shared value, and a deep ingrained philosophy in the DNA of our business, and how that enables our developments to come on stream quick with an assured set of returns for all stakeholders, including ourselves. We're a primary stakeholder obviously in our business. Then that's generally what I focus on. So there'll be lots of case studies. I'll share the good, the bad, indifferent, and look, we're going to have a very interactive session. I think you're going to really enjoy it.
So that particular night is in November. It's the Central London Evening Property Network, and it also has a panel, and Mark's nephew is on that panel, Will Stokes. So that's going to be focused on commercial investing. And Will's got a co-working business in Lincolnshire. I think it's two sites at the moment. I'm sure it's going to expand as well. So look, that's the event coming up in November. Just want to say huge thanks to Mark for taking time out this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.